Hey Stamp friends, welcome to the Joy of Stamp with Rachel. I'm Rachael Coon and it's Fun Fold Friday. Today I'll be using the Level Complete stamp set that you'll find in the annual catalog. I know a lot of times we get really excited when a new mini catalog comes out, or even the online exclusives, that we forget about the amazing stamp sets that are still in the annual catalog that we have available to us for a whole year. So this is one of my must-gets that I got and that I'm just barely playing with. So I'm excited to share with you our more kind of like a teenage boy or even a grown man or your favorite girl also who likes to play games. It doesn't really matter. But let me show you the fun fold today. So I've created this fun little remote control holder, and then we have it saying leveled up, happy birthday. We have some awesome embossing here. So it looks like a normal card until we go ahead and open it up. And you'll notice that it's kind of like a mini card in the inside. And then we have a little pocket as well to hold our gift card. Mine's my business card, but this would be a perfect spot to put like a Nintendo game gift card or your favorite gaming place that you like to use right in there, or cash for your favorite little boy, teen, or whoever. All right, let's go ahead and show you how to make this one. And I also want to show you what inspired me for this card. So I had gotten a swap that was a Christmas card swap with the same idea. So this one has this great die cut out, has some fun things on the front, but the same concept that there's something in the inside that folds open to create a pocket here, and that it has the front part is the mostly of that die as well though. All right, let's grab our pieces and I'll show you how to do a couple variations. Of course, since this is Fun Fold Friday, I want you to visit my online store for all of these products, and then of course comment below before midnight Pacific time, or usually by the morning. Whoever I check has left me a comment. I will put you into the drawing for winning the card that we make in my video today. All right, the colors I'm using are the Sweet Sorbet and the new Azure Afternoon. I did use that for my stamping for one of them, and then the Gray Granite is the other color I'm using, but I did a little bit of stamping beforehand. So of course we have our remote controller, and depending on what you want it to look like, it will determine what color you'll want to use. So this is Smoky Slate with that Gray Granite, and I'll fussy cut that out in just a second. But I wanted to show you some other variations. I have a basic black with the embossed white there, which is a really cool look as well. Or I have black on black. This one's gonna be hard to see. There we go. So instead of just stamping with that, I think it's black gets lost in black a lot of times. So you want to have some shine. So you want a black on black remote control. You would like to do the heating emboss for this one. I really like the way that one looks. It's a little bit more subtle, like it doesn't pop out as much. But that's the fun thing about adding embellishments. You can change it up a little bit. I will stick with my Smoky Slate for today's though. We'll get that cut out in just a second, but let me show you the main pieces for this card. And all the measurements are over my blog. So if you missed anything in this video, click on over there. You'll see the measurements for this card, and also you'll see links to get all the supplies we're using. So we have a card base, which is like 3 1/4. No, it's like 3 3/8. It's a weird number, by 11, and then I have it scored at 2 locations. This is 4 3/4. I slid this down to my paper trimmer, scored it again at 4 3/4. So that's why I knew that was the same in measurement, and that's probably about a little bit over 1 1/4. Not exact. Mostly I wanted to make sure that lined up. Go ahead and get that nice and crisp. Also, we can get this one folded in if you want as well to start forming our pocket. Do not adhere that yet. We will do some stamping first. So open it up so that way it's facing on the top, because it's going to be folded over to create that pocket. So this is the top side of it. We're going to grab our Azure Afternoon, and we are going to stamp with the fun saying, the Achievement Locked, which I think that's a super fun one to have on the inside of a card like this. All right, I haven't stamped this one yet today, so let me grab a piece of scrap paper and do some quick stamping on it and make sure it looks pretty good. This is a newer inks, so it's a little bit juicy, so hopefully we're okay. And I'll press lightly right there about center. Nice. Okay. keep this color in, we're gonna grab our piece of Azure Afternoon. But before I go ahead and stamp on this, I wanna make sure I'm doing it on the right side. So what I did for this card is I die cut out the deckled rectangles, and a full size looks like this guy here. Hold on, here he is. All right, here's a full size here. Then what I did was I took my paper trimmer and a pencil, and I measured at the 1 inch on one side here on the left side, and from the bottom up, I measured 1 inch, took it to my paper trimmer and cut it at a diagonal from one mark to the next, kind of like that, okay? You can kind of see how I'm getting this right there. Then I went ahead and I embossed it with this splatter embossing folder. And then I brought it over here, and it creates 2 of those for me. So this is the bottom half of this one. I just flipped it over, and I had to make sure I line it up though so it matches, because the top and the bottom of this deckled rectangle, it's not the same. So if I were to flip it over and put it on this side, you'd be like, that doesn't match. You can see on the back side that doesn't line up nicely. Put it on this one, it's like a puzzle piece, matches perfectly, and it'll be flush when we glue that down. So this is our top. This is our facing right side up. This is the part on the bottom left. We want to stamp our background. When I originally was making this first one, I was like, oh, I want this in a nice row. Well, guess what? I decided that coding like this does not need to be perfect. And since it's not photopolymer, it's a rubber stamp, it is hard to get it to be lined up just perfectly. But I think that's the beauty of this one. It makes it so it doesn't have to be. It's perfectly imperfect this way. Just kind of randomly put on. Just make sure you're getting it covered enough. And then you can grab that piece that's going to cover. We don't have to do this top right corner, but mostly coming down this way. Ooh. And maybe like that. Not too bad. We'll see how that turned out. Okay, we're done with that color. Go ahead and grab our 2 little strips of paper and that Sweet Sorbet and the Azure Afternoon. And since my red's on top, I want to make sure my leveled up will be on the top phrase and my happy birthday will be the bottom phrase. Then let's grab our gray granite. You could use basic black if that's the only color you have, or the memento. And let's go ahead and stamp those 2 sayings here. Leveled up and happy birthday. We'll grab that, ink it up, go on our blue, press down and lift up. Mine's a little slanted, but I'm okay with that. I feel like this one doesn't have to be perfect. If I wanted to be more straight, I would go ahead and flip it and try again. Happy birthday. Place, press, nice. All right. That should be all of our stamping. Let's go ahead and do our fussy cutting of this guy. Should I change it though? I'm kind of tempted to change the remote on this one, just so you can see the difference. The tricky part is knowing which one I should do now. I'm gonna go ahead and try this basic white embossing. So we'll fussy cut this one out just to change it up a little bit. I know I wasn't going to, but last minute change of mine. And I'm just taking my paper snips and I'm cutting along that side, and it's okay if it has a little bit of that basic black border. Just make sure we're not cutting into that embossing part there. We don't want to lose that line. This is a very easy shape. There's no punch, there's no die for this one, but this is a little bit of curves and it's a larger size, so it's not really hard to hold on to, but mostly just straights and cuts this way. There we go. Ooh, that's super fun. Okay, grab those pieces back in. We're gonna grab our liquid glue, put it on the back of our embossed Sweet Sorbet, flip it over and attach here. There we go. Nice. It should be, again, you know, like a puzzle. It should fit perfectly over. Let's go ahead and grab this and this guy, flip these over, and we're gonna put dimensionals on the backs. Maybe, there we go. For these littler pieces, I am gonna use some mini dimensionals. If you don't have minis, just cut your larger ones in half. So I have these basic black minis right here, and I want to put at least 3 on the back of here. They're kind of big, or it's kind of long, so we don't want it to be drooping in the middle. For me, this is the cards that are the hardest and that I never have enough of. I have a million, okay, I have a lot of floral cards ready to give to any girl at any moment in the day. But when it comes to boy cards that are like that teenage age, it's hard for me to have them readily available. So I'm gonna make probably 10 more of these just to have on hand for when my son's friends have birthdays and I need something to give them. Okay, so we remove the backings of these dimensionals. Oh, I was gonna use the large ones for this one, but that's okay. We just use the minis. Make sure you get them at all of the corners and in that center, so it, again, does not droop. We do not want droopy remote controls. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and put this at an angle. We wanted to cover up a little bit of both of our colors here. Then let's grab our top one. And you can play with these placements before you're sticking it down. Since I've already played a little bit with this one, I have a good idea where to place it. The leveled up, we're gonna go over here to our top left and attach it so that we have a little bit of border. So it's not completely over, but it gives more space on our right side. Go to the bottom and do the opposite. We're gonna go closer to the right, then the left, and our happy birthday. Having it go right about here. It's looking pretty good. Okay, now what we need to do is grab our card base and we need to finish off that pocket. So grab your tear tape to create a pocket. That's the easiest way to create a pocket. You could use Stampin' Plus or even the multi-purpose liquid glue. However, that just takes time to dry. And I love how nicely I can lay this tear tape here, and it's a little bit extra adhesive strength. So for a gift card holder, you definitely want to don't want to be stingy with adhesive for this part. There we go. Remove the backing. Maybe there we go, and fold it over to create that pocket. If you're fearful that that pocket's too flush, put in something like your bone folder. Make sure you press that down. You can even use your bone folder to help attach that even more so. All right, then what we need to do is go ahead and grab this piece here and this guy. This one I will actually use my Stampin' Still. What I'm going to do is just go over the top, the middle, the bottom, a little bit right there till I miss that spot. And I'm going to keep this facing down, making sure that my red is on the top, make sure this is on the bottom, and I'm going to line it up facing this way, kind of create that border on all the sides, like so. Dimensional backings, there we go. It's looking great so far. All we have to add is just a little embellishments. For this one, I use the In Color dots, the glossy dots, which you totally could do. You could use rhinestones if you want to really bling it out. I used the yellow ones, or the wild wheat was for that one. I'm trying to decide if I want to change up my color for this one and just go dark. We're going to do the pebbled path for this one. Or you could even leave these embellishments off, because I feel like embossing, heat embossing is an embellishment in itself. But it's fun to have those little extra buttons. So we'll add them. Another way to use this set is by coloring it in. So I could have stamped this on basic white, taken my stamping blends or my watercolor pencils, and I could have colored it in to the colors that I would want to make it closest to an actual remote control. Okay, let's get this closer so you can see how amazing this looks, and let me know which one you like. If you're digging this black remote control, or if you're more of the smoky slate one with some of that wild wheat there. Either way, this truly is a fun fold card. I hope you guys have enjoyed learning this one, and that you've added this fold to your collection of knowledge, and definitely add the level complete stamp set that we used to make the card in our video today. Have a great weekend and happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.